Meditation is all about making your mind calm and empty, my dear friends. Completely silence your mind. No thoughts whatsoever in your mind, my dear friends. Just you and your breath. Final 2 minutes. Just observe your breath, my dear friends. 2 more minutes. In this calm, relaxed, and peaceful state of the mind, we can take in a lot of information into our consciousness, my dear friends. Okay, friends. Now you can gently place both your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and you can slowly open your eyes, my dear friends. Very good morning to all of you, my dear friends. So today I'm taking a session on silence book, my dear friends. So this book is written by Thich Nhat Hanh. So in this book, Master says that he says, starting with, we spend a lot of time looking for happiness. 1 second, I'll share my slide. Yeah. So we spend a lot of time looking for happiness when the world right around is full of wonder, my dear friends. So to be alive and walk on this planet Earth is really a miracle. Yet many of us are running as if there is somewhere, some better place to go. So there is a beautiful calling to all of us every day, every hour, every minute, my dear friends. But we are not in a position to listen to that inner calling. Why? Because most of the time we get lost in our thoughts. We don't have silence in ourselves, in our body, in our mind, my dear friends. When our mind is full of noise, when our mind, our body, it is filled with full of noise, we can't hear the beauties, nature's beauties call, my dear friends. There is a radio playing in our head that is called radio station NST, non-stop thinking. NST means non-stop thinking, my dear friends. So we have to understand that silence is stillness. Our heart is calling us, nature is calling us, but we don't hear. We don't have any time to listen to our heart, my dear friends. We don't have any time to listen to our inner. But meditation and mindfulness is the practice that quiets the noise within us, that quiets the noise within our head. So without meditation, without mindfulness, we are getting pulled away by our thoughts, by our belief systems, my dear friends. Sometimes we get pulled away by our regrets, our sorrows, thinking about the past worries, past memories. We revisit all our old memories and experiences. We recall them, we remind them again and again and suffer again and again, my dear friends. So we experience that pain we have already experienced. So it is very easy to get taught in this prison of the past, and also sometimes we get stuck in the future, my dear friends. As we get stuck in the past, we get stuck in the future. Like we always feel very anxious, fearful about the future, getting trapped in the thoughts of the future, my dear friends. So this anxiety, fear, uncertainty. So uncertainty, like what will happen. So thinking more about the future, we get stuck. Stuck up in the future too. So the past is a prison and the future is the prison, my dear friends. And we are not living in this present state, and we are easily getting distracted. We are not feeling empty. So we are feeling that vacuum, that loneliness inside, my dear friends. So we all want, are expecting something, we are anticipating something, we are craving for something. So something will come and change situation, someone will come and change my situation. Why? Because we are not being in this present moment. So when we are not in this present moment, nothing feels like interesting, nothing feels special, my dear friends. That's why staying in this present moment, bringing back all our senses back to this present moment is very important. So there is a beautiful saying that silence is not empty, it's full of answers, my dear friends. So when we can stop this noise in our head, so it just disappears. When we start to live in this present moment, when we start observing without any judgment, without any criticism, without any comment, the noise within just disappears, and we experience that profound stillness, that profound spaciousness, and the profound inner stillness and quietness within all of us, my dear friends. So deep inside there is a beautiful stillness. It is very powerful and it is very eloquent, my dear friends. So we have to, when we are in that state of stillness, we respond to the nature's call. We understand what mother earth is going through. We understand what our heart truly wants, my dear friends. When you live in this present moment, you experience like, I am here, I am free, I am here right now without any thoughts. So when you're here, you just connect to the mother nature, you just connect to mother earth. You can feel what she's going through, you can listen to her, you can receive her messages. Why? Because you're not lost in the future. If you're thinking, keep on thinking and thinking, you can't listen to any voices, any messages from the masters, my dear friends. So when you're here right here right now, you're free, completely free, my dear friends. You're free from your anxieties, you're free from your fears, you're free from the longing that some deep longing, like something will happen, something good will happen to me, so in the future, not living in this present moment, my dear friends. I am free is a strong statement. Why? Because getting free is a very strong emotion, my dear friends. So Thich Nhat Hanh, when he was in Vietnam, so he practiced like being still silent together. He practiced this wonderful technique, like being completely, all of his whole Sangha members, they used to live in a retreat center in a southwest, I think in southwest France, where they practice this kind of silence called noble silence, my dear friends. This practice is very easy. So they in this book, master says that if you're talking, just focus on the talking. If you're listening, just focus on listening. If you're eating, just focus on eating. So if you are doing something else, such as eating, walking and working, and you're if you're doing something else, for example, most of us we start to eat, and at the same time we start to browse or our for social media. So don't do both things at the same time, my dear friends. So you eat while you're eating and walk while you're walking. So when they are practicing this being still together process, he got a very profound, beautiful experience, my dear friends. So he shared this beautiful experience where all their sangha, they were having lunch together outside, sitting on the grass. All of them went to serve themselves, and they joined they sat on the grass. Those They sat on this concentric circles, my dear friends, like one circle within a large circle. So they didn't say anything. Like first the master, he was the one to sit down. He sat and practiced this mindful breathing to establish silence in himself. So he started to listen to the bird sound. He enjoyed the beauty of the spring. He just started enjoying just sitting there for about 20 minutes, my dear friends. So while other Sangha members, they started to serve the food, they started to walk. So he waited for all the members to come and sit down. So then he experienced a beautiful silence within himself. It is like way back 20 years or 30 years ago. He felt that silence was not deep, as all the Sangha members, they are walking, they are serving the food, holding their plates and sitting down. So much of stuff is happening around him. But he himself sat down and observed this. He felt silence, but that silence is not deep, my dear friends. He felt like some sort of silence, but it is not deep silence, as all the members, they are walking around. So and he started to ring the bell, my dear friends. He had a small bell with him, and when everyone got seated, he rang the bell to sound. They all listened to the bell very well. So right after the first sound of the bell of mindfulness, so all the Sangha members, they started to breathe at same time. So they started to breathe at the same time and breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It was real silence, my dear friends. So when they started doing this together, everyone in the group started to connect with the group consciousness, and they experienced a pure real silence, my dear friends. So as they focus their attention on the in breath and out breath, so as they are breathing together with this, they form the collective silence, they experience the collective silence. So and this collective silence generated a strong field of energy in all the group members, my dear friends. So this type of silence he called this as a thundering silence. Why? Because it is a collective silence, it is a very powerful silence, it is a deep silence, my dear friends. In this silence you could hear the winds and the birds with so much of more clarity, more vivid, you can experience more vivid experience. So this practicing this silence is called the noble silence, my dear friends. So practicing silence to empty to empty all the noises within our head. It is not at all difficult practice, my dear friends, when you start to train our mind. So with some training you can do this. So in this noble silence you can walk, you can sit, you can enjoy your meal, at the same time connecting with your breath. So with this kind of silence, he says that we can enjoy enough freedom, you can enjoy this being alive, you can appreciate all the wonders of your life. And with this kind of silence, like you're more capable of healing yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, my dear friends. Why? Because this silence has a capacity which make you to feel alive, my dear friends, which bring you holistic transformation. As you're free, as you're free from all these regrets, all the thoughts which are making you to suffer, all the fears, all this uncertainty about the future, you're free from all this mental chatter, my dear friends. So this is called noble silence, my dear friends. This silence is dynamic and it is very powerful silence. Yeah, one second. So this is the silence they practice in their retreats all the time, my dear friends. And so he also says that there is a sound of no sound. So what is this sound of no sound? We all know that silence is often described as absence of sound. We all know that this absence of sound is a very powerful sound. But in this book, Master remembers, he recalls one beautiful experience like in the winter. So maybe in the year 2013 to 2014, in between these 2 years, that winter was not so cold in France. He was living in France during that time, but he heard that it was very cold in Northern America. He saw a picture of Niagara Falls, my dear friends. He saw a picture of Niagara Falls at about its coldest. The falls had stopped falling. I will show this picture. See, usually Niagara Falls will be like this, right? So it's a continuous stream of flow of water. But in the year 2013 to 2014, he heard that Niagara Falls have completely frozen. The water couldn't fall anymore. It was completely frozen. He saw this image and he was very much fascinated. He was very much impressed by seeing this image. Why? Because the cascade of water had stopped together with the sound. Usually when there is a waterfall, you hear a huge sound, right? The what like gushing sound of that water. But as the cascade of water had stopped together with the sound, he all the whole the people around there, they experienced the just complete silence. And he also remembers a beautiful experience he had 40 years ago, my dear friends. He was living in this northeast of Thailand in a retreat, like with all the young people. He was staying in a hut near some stony creek, so there was always a sound of water falling. So he enjoyed breathing and washing his clothes, taking nap on these big stones, my dear friends. So he used to live in this northeast of Thailand. So he heard the sound of water falling day and night, day and night. He heard the same sound. He looked at the bushes, trees around, and he had a thought. What if this sound, this waterfall stops now? So why? Because since their birth, all these trees, all the bushes, they are hearing this sound continuously day and night. Suppose this sound, what if suppose this sound stop for the first time? What if these trees and bushes, they don't hear anything, no sound at all, just complete silence? Just imagine that, my dear friends, if you can. Suddenly the water which is waterfall which is happening continuously, suddenly the water stops flowing, and all the plants, all the bushes, all the stones around this waterfalls, which are experiencing this sound, cascades of sound during day and night, suddenly if the sound stops, they don't hear it any longer, right? Think how surprising it will be experiencing the deeper silence. So the same, he relates the same experience with our human mind, my dear friends. We are completely bombarded with so many thoughts, so many unwanted thoughts, useful thoughts, useless thoughts, thinking thoughts about the past, future, thoughts about our friends, family, colleagues, and so many thoughts. What if suddenly, if you can empty your mind, what if all the thoughts in our mind got completely reduced and you experience the deep silence within you? So this deep silence is called as thundering silence, my dear friends. So he asks everyone, like he asks everyone to experience this deep, noble silence, this thundering silence within all of us. And he says there are 5 true sounds in this universe. So in order to hear these 5 true sounds, we should cultivate the habit of deep listening, my dear friends. So before going into these 5 true sounds, he explains about Bodhisattva, my dear friends. Who is Bodhisattva? In Buddhism, or when you go to Buddhist countries, we call Bodhisattva as Avalotikeshwara also, my dear friends. So Bodhisattva is the master, or he is the consciousness, or he is the person, like the person who listens deeply to the sounds of the world, my dear friends. So Bodhisattva in the Buddhist term means someone with great compassion, like he is completely into the deep listening. He can listen to the deep sounds of the world, my dear friends. So he first encourages everyone to practice this deep listening. Why? Because this deep listening gives us open mindedness, my dear friends. So this deep listening allows you to completely absorb what others are saying to you. So it is not just surface listening, my dear friends. So we can clearly understand where the speaker is coming from, with what purpose, with what intention the speaker is coming from. So he encourages everyone to practice this kind of deep listening. Patriji always encourages and he always stresses about this art of deep listening, my dear friends. Why? Because this art of deep listening is a form of deep meditation, my dear friends. Why? Because we are completely present in the moment. In this deep listening, we are completely focusing on the words of other person. We can understand where he is coming from, as we are not judging him or criticizing him, or what you call just judging him because of our past memories that we have with that person. So this deep listening is empathetic listening, my dear friends, compassionate listening. So it is very supportive, it is very healing. So when you practice this deep healing, it is this is an ongoing practice, my dear friends. We should practice this lifelong. We should cultivate this habit of deep listening. Why? Because it breaks all our reactive thinking modes. It breaks all our self-oriented approach. Usually when we are not in the deep listening, when we are not in the deep listening space, we usually react, my dear friends. We just go into the reaction mode. So we are not self aware of our own thoughts, our own belief systems, our own mental patterns. We are just fighting with that person's unwanted thoughts or unwanted emotions. Why? Because we are not in the deep listening space. So whereas in the deep listening or compassionate listening space, we are first one with ourselves, and also we get connected with other person who is speaking to us, my dear friends. So in the book Yashodhara, in the book the wife of Buddha, Yashodhara, she clearly mentions about this compassionate listening, my dear friends. So Yashodhara, when Buddha leaves the palace, and when Buddha leaves the palace, and when he goes to into that forest, like searching about this enlightenment or meditation, she feels so sad. She feels so so wounded, and she go into the depression state, my dear friends. During that time, Gautami. So Gautami, she's the queen. She encourages Yashodhara to listen to all the what you call all the women experiences. So they start to form a circle. So and Yashodhara start to listen to all the women. Every woman starts sharing her experiences, how she has suffered, how what she's going through. By listening to all the women experiences, Yashodhara will come out of the depression state. She feels that until that time, she felt that she is the only one who is suffering. But when she started to listen to all the women experiences without any judgment, without any comment, without any analysis, just being at that listening space. So lot of huge transformation happens in that circle, my dear friends. Until that time, she used to feel that she is a princess, but after listening to all the women experiences, she become one among them, my dear friends. She loses her identity as princess, and she will become one with all the women. So this type of deep compassion, so Thich Nhat Hanh encourages everyone to practice this kind of deep listening. So in this when we practice this deep listening, we come out of all wrong perceptions. We come out of all these bitter experiences, my dear friends, which has made us a lot to suffer. So another one is like, as I said, he explains about the five true sounds, right? So what are the five true sounds? Is first sound he mentioned is the sound of the wonders of life. So the sound of wonders of life that are calling you daily, my dear friends. In day-to-day lives, we can hear the sound of the birds, sound of the rain, sound of the wind, but we are not aware. Why? Because we got lost in our thoughts. Early morning is a great time for listening to all these sounds, my dear friends. So sounds start when these type of sounds will help us to go into that stillness state. So when you go to the rural areas, when you go to any villages, so these sounds will help the humanity. These sounds will help the people around there to wake up. For example, in the villages, people will wake up by hearing the bird sounds, or by hearing the wake up call of the birds, right? So these types of sounds will help us to go into the stillness state, my dear friends. So hearing the sounds of the birds, sounds of the rain, so this is very important. So start your day by just go for a walk and start to listen to the sounds of the nature, my dear friends. Sounds of the wind, the sounds of the birds. Like enjoy this reflection of the sunlight, enjoy the what you call the cooling presence of the nature, my dear friends. So this is all about connecting deep connecting to ourselves, my dear friends. So this is the first sound, and the second sound is this is also the like sounds of the rain. So second sound is nothing but it's a sound of the one who observes the world. This is a sound of listening, sound of silence. So in this we recognize that like in this we recognize and realize that we have this amazing ability to observe our breath, to observe the world, my dear friends. So in this with this kind of silence, we completely focus on our breath, being completely mindful of our breath, living in this mindful awareness, my dear friends, tuning into what is being experienced. For example, if you're feeling any shoulder pain, we just tune into our breath and tune into our body sensations, and we just acknowledge that pain in our body, and we'll be very mindful of what's going on in our body, and we just release. We allow the body to release that thoughts and emotions which have caused this pain in our shoulders. So just observe it, don't analyze it, don't judge it, just observe it and be there with that pain, or just be mindful by tuning into your breath, my dear friends. Just embrace the pain, shine your awareness, shine the light of your awareness to that body part, my dear friends. So this is the second silence. And third silence is the sound of the om. So this is also called as a Brahma sound. This is the transcendental sound. So we have a long history, right, for this om. In Indian traditions, om, we believe that it has an innate power to create the world, right? Because om has that strong vibration. Even in the Big Bang theory, and in so many of research, scientists have said that universe, the sound of the universe is om. Like connecting with the universe, my dear friends, feeling that vibration of oneness with the universe. This is called the om sound. And fourth sound is the sound of the rising tide, my dear friends. So this sound symbolizes the voice of Buddha. Why? Because the teachings of the Buddha are very clear, my dear friends. The teachings of the Buddha are very clear without any misunderstanding. So when you can listen to the teachings of the Buddha in that state of mind, so we can remove any or any afflictions from our mind. While teachings of the Buddha, the words of the Buddha are very transformative, my dear friends. They, just listening to the words of the Buddha, they can deeply penetrate into ourselves, and they can affect, and they can bring a lot of huge transformation in our lives. So this sound of the rising tide is completely understanding about the voice of the Buddha. In this book, he mentions this as like that. And the fifth sound is called the sound that transcends all the sounds of the world. It is a great reminder, my dear friends, to not to get caught up in this worldly sounds. So many scholars made this Buddha teaching very complicated and very difficult to understand. But the Buddha said things are very simple, my dear friends. So if you are feeling any teaching of the Buddha very complicated, so that is not the sound of the Buddha. If you're hearing that too loud, too noisy, if you're feeling difficult to understand, that is not at all the voice of the Buddha or the voice of the masters, my dear friends. So wherever you go, you can hear this fifth sound. For example, he says that even if you're in a prison, you can you can clearly hear the sounds, because this is the sound that transcends all the sounds of the world. It is a telepathic sound, my dear friends. It is the deepest sound. So if we can understand, so masters in the deep silence, when you go to enlightened masters, you need not say any problem to them. Just be in the silence mode, in the presence of enlightened masters. Just be there, my dear friends. Just be here and now. So whenever you go to enlightened masters, just drop your mind, my dear friends. When you drop your mind, then master communicate to you telepathically. So you can clearly understand, you can feel the solution to all your questions, my dear friends, in the presence of enlightened masters. So this is the sound, this is the true sound which can transcend all the sounds of the world. So it is not at all difficult to understand when you go into the deeper states of your mind. But main deepest concern to all the masters is like, how many times each day do you spend in true silence, my dear friends? So most of the time in our daily lives, many of us are spending just giving more time to our daily comforts, especially to our material comforts and to our affective comforts. So what are these affective comforts is like whether some particular persons loves you or not, whether some particular friend gives you that what you call that respect to you or not. And material comforts are like to have enough money, to have enough food, to have enough shelter. So these are all the sounds, these are all the deepest concern. We are unable to get off of our comfort zone, my dear friends. Sorry. Yeah. So we like we worry all day because of this kind of questions, this kind of comforts, spending 99% of our energy, simply wasting our energy by giving more time to our material comforts, just focusing on our total energy is the complete energy is for earning and just taking care of the family, just looking about our survival needs and comforts, but we forget about our inner happiness, my dear friends. So we spend a lot of time looking for happiness. Sorry, everyone, could you please go on mute? 1 second. I'll mute. Yeah. Sorry. So we forget about our inner happiness, my dear friends. We spend a lot of time looking for happiness when as the master says, when the world right around is full of wonders, when we can calm our mind, everything is a wonder, my dear friends. So we can experience that in the form of mindful eating, mindful walking, and mindful listening, my dear friends. Just being alive. So whenever you go from today, just how mindful walking, my dear friends. He says that no need to run, just give that inner space and quietness and allow yourself to look deeply within. Question yourself, like how many hours are you giving to yourself? Like daily 1 or 2 hours, we should have the deep silence. We should experience the deep silence within ourselves, my dear friends. So instead of continuously running and racing after these worldly material pleasures, we should feel gratitude for what we have in our lives. So instead of looking outside, we have to look within ourselves, my dear friends. So when you start to look within yourself, then you start to open that magical doors of the universe. So in order to open the magical doors of the universe, you should stop that non-stop radio station within your head. So you have to, or else our mind is continuously filled with this noise, my dear friends. So another thing he says is that, so stay 1 second. He says that there are four kinds of foods in Buddhism. They have four kinds of foods. They call them as the four nutriments, my dear friends. So before going into that four kinds of food, and one more thing he explains is, we are on the steady diet of this noise around the world. So as he asked, like how many minutes each day that we are living in true silence, he says that just as much as we need air, as much as plants need light, silence, we need silence. Silence is essential. We need silence to our body, mind, and soul, my dear friends. If our minds are continuously crowded with these thoughts and words, we are not creating any space to receive the messages from the masters, especially in the urban areas like cities in London or any places in the urban areas. So we get used to certain level of noise, like so there is always someone shouting, traffic honking, or some traffic sounds, music sounds. We are always taking in something. We are always consuming something in the form of media, in the form of television, not only in the form of food, my dear friends. We are consuming a lot in the form of many mediums. So technology is very useful. He says that technology is supplying us and it is helping us to stay connected, but at the same time, how much ever we spend time in technology, like for example, we may spend at least 6 to 7 hours a day by using the social media sites. At the end of the day, again we feel that sorrow, we feel that restlessness, we feel that voidness within each of us, my dear friends. Why? Because this technology is creating that lot of stimulations inside of us, and it is not making our mind to be calm and empty. So he explains about these four kinds of foods. First one is called edible food. That is the food that we eat every day with our mouth. So in this first case, we should be very mindful of our eating, my dear friends. So as Patriji always recommends, have that yuktahara. So be mindful of your eating. At the same time, have right quantity of food. And second food is like food that we take from sensory impressions. Like we receive a lot of information through our eyes, through our ears, through our nose, tongue, body, and mind. So this includes what we hear, what we read, what we smell, what we touch, my dear friends. So we read so many text messages, we receive so many sounds from outside the world. So be aware of what kind of information you are loading into your mind. And third source of nutriment that he is talking is called volition. So it is nothing but connecting with our life purpose, my dear friends. For example, many of us are doing the jobs just for the sake of earning. But he is asking us, connect your passion to your work. So then only you can experience that happiness, the deeper happiness, satisfaction, and that stillness within you. Or else you are just doing the job for the sake of earning and you don't feel that complete satisfaction within you. So always connect your passion to the work you are doing. And also fourth one is about this consciousness, my dear friends. So consciousness is so we are all, everyone is like individual consciousness. So for example, if I start meditating, if I can teach this meditation to 10 people, so all these 11 members, when we can form as a group and we start meditating daily, so every individual consciousness is affecting the collective consciousness on this planet earth, my dear friends. So he recommends like individual consciousness is very important. What we are taking as a individuals, it is very much important, my dear friends. So for example, he asked everyone to stop taking the junk food. For in the first case, when we talk about this taking the edible food, so most of us are not aware what we eat. Like there is a beautiful saying, what we are what we eat, we are what we think, right? So what we eat affects how we feel, my dear friends. For example, if you are having a non-vegetarian food, so when that animal is getting slaughtered, it undergoes lot of pain, lot of trauma, lot of negative emotions has gone into that animal body. When you are taking the same food, you also experience that tiredness, that what you call that guiltiness, or that negative emotion what that animal went through, my dear friends. So have fruits and vegetables. So it makes you feel energetic, it makes you feel healthy, it makes you feel your body well balanced, it makes you feel nourished, right? So there is always a choice, my dear friends, and he encourages everyone to take vegetarian diet. And when it comes to sensory food, he asks everyone to only take entertain the good content, entertain what you call to see the good movies like motivational talks, inspirational talks, and don't give your energy to watch this media of which creates unwanted fear within you. So he encourages everyone to listen to good music, go to nature, read a book, or do any activity that gives you a lot of happiness, my dear friends. And he also encourages, while you are reading book, so just go into that mindful awareness state, connect your breathing, do that conscious breathing, and start reading that book. So when you start reading that book, you're first of all you're aware with yourself. At the same time, with that complete awareness state, in that conscious breathing state, you are reading that book. In that state, you can receive a lot of wisdom and the essence of that book. So, and he also says that our senses are our windows to the outside world, my dear friends. But many of us, we have opened our windows all the time. Many of us leave our windows like opening all the time, allowing all the unwanted stuff of the world. Like, for example, if you are having any conversations with your friends, when they are most of the time when they are speaking about gossips and sharing about their family problems or the trouble, so when you are not conscious, when you are not aware, you are taking all the shit of the others, and you are operating from that shit. Whenever you get into that family problem again, so you relate to that their shit, and you also, some most of the people will make their life shit life sheet instead of creating the miraculous experiences. So he requests everyone to always be aware and only make friends with the like-minded people, and just cut off all the connections from all these unwanted people. Why? Because they are not growing. At the same time, they are stopping our evolution, they are stopping our growth, because by putting all the unwanted family dramas into our lives. And third is violation. As I said, he asked everyone to connect your work with your passion. So always have good intention, my dear friends, why you want to do this work. Always do your work with the right intention. Always, or else it forms, it creates a mental fog. And he says, he asks one guy, like, what have you been up to? Then that guy replies that, master, I don't remember what I did last year. Why? Because he is constantly in the form of that mental fog, my dear friends, mental brain fog, where he lost connection with himself. So individual consciousness is very important. And he requests everyone to sow the seeds of happiness, compassion, forgiveness, love, empathy into the fertile land of your subconscious mind. So when you start planting these seeds of happiness, joy into this fertile land of happiness, they start to grow, and and you start operating your life with these beautiful seeds, my dear friends. So when you start nourishing to the seeds, when you water to the seeds, so then you start to attract the experiences of all this goodness and happiness into your life. So this is all about today's topic, my dear friends. I completed the part one of this book, and part two I'll be taking in next book reading session, because it's a long book. This, I think, hope this is enough for today. And last, one more thing I would like to share is, he mentions that when he was in India in 1997, he visited the president of the parliament and proposed to that parliament, like, have the ringing bell in the parliament whenever there is some law, whenever there is argument going on between the opposition parties. Please use this ringing bell, and request, and he encourages everyone, like, to come into their senses, come into that mindful awareness state. And again, you can start healthy discussion. In this way, you are allowing yourself to listen to yourself, and also allowing yourself to listen to the opposition members too. So this is the thing he mentioned in this book, my dear friends. So if anyone have any doubts on this topic, you can ask. I'll unmute. Or else, if you want to share anything on this book, you can share. My dear friends. So this is a wonderful book, and next class definitely I'll take about the part two of the book, which is quite interesting, my dear friends. So name of the book is Silence. You can search in the internet, Silence book by Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah. Thank you, Kalyani Garu. So friends, if you have any sharings, if you want to share anything regarding this topic, you can share your takeaways or thank you all.
Thank you, Sreelakshmi Garu.
Yeah, thank you, Nalini ji.
Yeah, it's a wonderful subject to explore.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the book reading. Look forward to the second one now. When will that be?
Yeah, maybe in a month. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll go chapter by chapter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. So name of the book is Thich Nhat Hanh. Author of the book is Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah. Yeah. Bharati ji?
Hello, Sreelakshmi ji. Thank you very much for the amazing. Your sessions are always amazing. Thank you ever so much for this awareness. I have a question. When other people are trying to tell their problems and family things like this.
Sorry, you got mute. Sorry, Meena ji, can you
Yeah. Sorry, supposing your friends are telling you about their family problems. And I know there's one of these sessions quite recently when one of the pastors said that sympathy is different to compassion. So if you're trying to not absorb their rubbish, how can you do that? And you still want to be friends with them? How can you, tune your mind? Because, sometimes we take on other people's problems.
Yeah. Yes. So first of all, from today, how to practice setting healthy boundaries, Meena ji. So always say to yourself this beautiful affirmation. Always set healthy boundaries. So when you set healthy boundaries, you are not allowing. First of all, why you are attracting such kind of people is because somewhere deep inside of your subconscious mind you have that vibration. You haven't removed that vibration of attracting that people. So when you set do the self talk, I always set healthy boundaries. I only allow the like-minded people who brings lot of awareness, lot of love, lot of happiness into my life. So when you start focusing on what you want, universe always attract the people into your life. So those people only with whom you got connected, Meena ji. So you get disconnected from all the people because your energy is not your energy won't allow the people to get into your vibration, to get into your aura. So always be in that mindful and awareness state. So when you do this, you won't allow such kind of people into your life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bharati ji, you would like to share anything? You have unmuted yourself. Okay. So friends, anyone would like to share? Gayatri Garu, thank you so much. Vindhya ji, thank you. Yeah, Vinila Garu, thank you so much. Thank you, Jansi Kularatnam. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, masters. So yeah, practicing silence is very key, my dear friends. Awareness, mindfulness, meditation, these are all the things which can protect us, which can shield us from all these unwanted energies, or else we get affected by thought pollution, we get affected by others people emotions. Why? Because we are not aware. When we are unconscious, when we are aware, when we are in that unconscious and in that unawareness state, we are allowing others emotions to dominate us. So when you're mindful, when you're aware, you stop their energies entering into your life, my dear friends. So practicing this is very important in your day-to-day life. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Bhargavi Garu. Hi, Shalan.
Hi, thank you so much. Such a beautiful book. I'm joining after a long time, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Thank you, Shalan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
Subnavati.
Master. Happy Deepavali.
Thank you. You too. Happy Deepavali to you. I think you lost your connection. We are unable to hear you. Okay, we can't hear you. Thank you, friends, and happy Diwali, everyone. Thank you, Vinod Garu, Udaya. Thank you, everyone. So I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes, my dear friends. If you have anything you can share, you can discuss on this topic. These book reading sessions are all about sharing our own wisdom and light, my dear friends. So you can share if you want to share anything. You can share. Kularatnam ji, yes.
Thank you, Sreelakshmi ma'am, for a wonderful session. I since I started to meditate, I always, when you actually have my food and etc., I normally sit, without TVs and etc. That is a wonderful thing I started to do. I focus on my food and eat. And also, when I actually close my eyes, I can always hear lots of beautiful sounds. That's another experience I have actually experienced during this my meditations since I started my meditation. There are beautiful experiences when you actually close your eyes and be silent. And I think it's a meditation actually give this sort of experiences. And thank you for everything. Thank you for all the support and etc. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kularatnamji. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Okay, friends. Thanks a lot for joining. So happy. And yeah, let's connect in other book reading session. Until then, signing off. Bye.